Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Christine O'Donnell.
And I'm Dan Dembski.
You may have noticed the various construction projects taking place around campus. This can prove to be an inconvenience for students on campus. Our very own RJ Garza has more on this story.
Virginia Tech begins construction projects around an increase of construction around various places on campus. Popular areas such as the Perry Street parking lot, the lawn in front of the Graduate Life Center, and even near the Corps of Cadets dorms. With areas that have high volumes of students passing through each day, it's difficult to imagine these projects wouldn't hinder life around campus.
I'm currently standing outside of Pearson Hall, which is home to the Corps of Cadets. And as you can see right behind me, there is yet another construction site taking place. However, this particular site used to be home to the Corps of Cadets volleyball court that some of the cadets play on warm, sunny days.
There's a door by the mudroom that I can use, but right now I can't use it. Also, we like to use the volleyball court, and currently we can't use it, so it's kind of a disadvantage.
With the addition of more and more students accepted every year, it seems Virginia Tech has no choice but to continue building infrastructure to support the increased population and the demand of resources.
Just with the different construction on campus, I think it's important for us to keep improving and renovating on things that are maybe becoming outdated and updating with things that are more up to speed and maybe even ahead of their time.
Reporting for the newsroom, I'm RJ Garza.
You recycle paper and plastic, reuse your water bottle, and avoid plastic straws. But have you ever considered recycling or reusing clothing?
Sustainable fashion is gaining traction, and in Blacksburg, Virginia, it is more popular and more important than ever. The clothing industry is, in fact, one of the biggest polluters. Sustainability experts at Virginia Tech say only 15% of clothing is recycled, a statistic the university takes seriously. They also say it's up to the consumers to force change.
Obviously, change needs to happen in the entire industry from start to finish. And really it starts with, I think, transparency and accountability in our textile industry.
He says transparency includes knowing where your clothing goes after use and keeping it out of landfills. One way to do this is to donate your clothing and buy new clothing from thrift stores to continue its life cycle. Blacksburg is home to several thrift stores, one of them being VT Thrift, a thrift store started by Virginia Tech students.
With flu season at its peak, the Virginia Tech campus is taking precautions to stay healthy. Health experts warn students to stay home from classes if they have started showing symptoms to keep from infecting fellow classmates and faculty. During flu season, it is important to take measures to stay healthy and keep from infecting others if you've come down with something. There are a number of different ways to do this. Frequently washing your hands, coughing into the inside of your elbow, and getting vaccinated as early as possible are all measures that students should take during flu season. Health experts urge students to stay home from class when feeling sick.
The number one way that we can prevent flu spreading on campus, other than getting everyone vaccinated, is for those folks that are sick to try to stay home. Our stance is we ask that professors, supervisors, people in positions that oversee individuals try to be flexible.
Schiffer Health Center is an excellent resource for Virginia Tech students who are in need of medical attention and guidance. Students should be having conversations with their healthcare specialists or their primary care doctor about ways they can stay healthy and what they should do in case they get sick.
Restaurants already train employees on how to make sure optimal health requirements are met with handling food, such as frequent hand washing, sanitation, and not coming to work with a perceived illness. With flu season in full swing, how are businesses that handle food and drink making sure that proper health and safety measures are being taken? Newsfeed reporter Sloan Miner takes us around Blacksburg to find out how restaurants are taking extra precautions in this season to prioritize customer health and safety.
Flu season is already hard enough to deal with. Restaurants and businesses that handle food or beverage know that making sure optimal health standards are met are more important now than ever to prevent the spread of disease.
We're always trying to prevent sicknesses from being transmitted, not only to customers but each other as well, right? So it gets back down to really reinforcing the basics of washing hands, avoid touching any food with bare hands, cleaning and sanitizing surfaces often.
The Center for Disease Control says that influenza is transmitted through droplets when people with the sickness sneeze, cough, or even talk. When it comes to handling food, businesses in the Blacksburg area follow strict codes when it comes to washing their own hands before handling food to be cooked, wearing gloves when handing over food, sanitizing utensils, and handling food safely, such as at Sugar Magnolia.
We're very much a better safe than sorry location, and if anything has even the slightest chance of being contaminated or unsafe to use or to serve, then we don't even take a chance and we just throw it out.
Overall, customers of food or drink handling businesses can rest assured that employers in Blacksburg recognize this is a time where sickness is everywhere, and new precautions are taken every day to ensure the good health and safety of their customers.
Just ahead on the news feed, women's sports are honored at Virginia Tech. And esports teams continue to gain popularity around campus. That story and more after this break.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Christine O'Donnell.
And I'm Dan Dembski.
February 5th was National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and the day was honored on the Virginia Tech campus. In Blacksburg, women's sports are headlined by soccer, basketball, volleyball, and softball, just to name a few.
Girls and women in sports has become a popular topic of late, as the deaths of former NBA star Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna have brought many casual fans into the sports world. Newsfeed reporter Christian Klein joins us with more. Christian?
Thanks, Dan. The lives of Kobe and Gianna and the other 7 victims were taken so quickly and so tragically. The nation mourned, but the Mamba mentality will continue to live on, and that is exemplified here in Blacksburg. In and out of sports, girls and women across the country will continue to overcome their challenges. Kobe and Gianna Bryant meant a lot to more than just the world of basketball. They represented a new generation of female athletes. In Blacksburg, the community feels as though there are sometimes too many challenges facing young girls. One student often thinks about how her younger sister will adapt to today's issues.
Where you go, it's always like, oh, you can't do that, you're a girl, or you shouldn't, that looks wrong, girls don't do that. And so I think I've set a good example for her so far.
In the wake of his death, stories resurfaced of Bryant being proud of what he called being a girl dad. Across social media, #GirlDad was flooded with men across the world sharing the joy of raising their daughters. This included Virginia Tech women's basketball coach Kenny Brooks, who has 2 daughters on his team. Soon after the trend took over the nation, a special holiday reminded the sports world that women are here to stay. The Virginia Tech women's basketball team joined the nation in celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports Day. The day was on Wednesday, but is celebrated here at Castle Coliseum on Sunday at halftime of the women's basketball win against Miami. The day was normal for some people, but for others, it was just a special event.
I think it was special because after the game, a little girl comes up to me and was like, I'm number 3-2, can I have a picture? And I think that a lot of it is stressful for us, because it's something that we have, that we do. But I think that a day like that gives you the chance to realize what you're doing it for, and you're doing it for little girls that was you at one point. So you're at the point and it's supposed to be fun, and I think it puts life into perspective.
After practice Friday, Coach Kenny Brooks told me that he builds his team more as a family, something he says is a large part of recruiting. He also said he dedicates his career to building a positive environment, not only for the girls he coaches, but the program as a whole. It's clear to see he is especially proud to be a girl dad. I'm Christian Klein, reporting for the Newsfeed. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Christian. Nowadays, kids who enjoy playing video games competitively can continue to do so in college, even earning scholarships at some schools. Virginia Tech is one of many schools where students are looking to get involved in the world of esports. Competitive video gaming, or esports, has rapidly gained popularity on college campuses in recent years, including at Virginia Tech. An increasing number of students are choosing to participate in the activity, where they play in specific clubs under TESPA, a national organization for collegiate esports. Each club usually plays only one game title, competing to earn scholarship money at the end of the year tournament. One of the clubs that has been around to witness the rise of esports is the Virginia Tech Overwatch team.
Just so you can get every frame.
I've seen the numbers of viewership on YouTube and live streaming sites like Twitch increase 4 or 5-fold for newer esports like the Overwatch League.
Esports players at Virginia Tech do not yet receive scholarships directly from the university, but with the trend growing nationwide, it may only be a matter of time until they are treated in a manner similar to traditional student athletes. Spin e-scooters have been available on campus for several months now, and students are wondering when they will be able to enjoy them downtown. The town of Blacksburg needs to see more data before expanding the program downtown. News reporter Skylar Atkins has more on this story.
A pilot program was launched last September that brought e-scooters to campus. With that program coming to an end, Mayor Hager Smith had this to say about expansion talks.
So the town doesn't expect to allow them anytime really soon or to partner with any one particular organization. We want to see what Virginia Tech, what their assessment ends up being.
While students have been known to leave e-scooters in non-designated areas, market manager for Spin, Chichi Raju, said that they are working to find solutions to this problem.
We're putting scooter corrals on campus, and it'll be incentivized parking, so it'll give you some amount of credit towards your next ride. And we're hoping that some of this incentivized parking in these spin hubs will really kind of help some of the problems we're seeing with parking on campus.
VTTI also has a solution to physical injuries caused by students riding without a helmet.
We always have helmets to give away. So you can go to the Alternative Transportation Center in the Perry Street garage and get a free helmet on us whenever they are open. So we take safety very seriously, and helmet use is definitely one of the things that we're trying to encourage.
In order for downtown expansion to happen, riders must respect the e-scooters and, more importantly, their own health. Reporting from Blacksburg, I'm Skylar Atkins.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And, as always, you can also connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Christine O'Donnell.
And I'm Dan Dembski.